Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches.
What up, what up? What it do? How you guys doing today? Would not believe that I started that piece of art on Sunday morning, like coming out of Saturday at 3 a.m. No fucking way will I be late for 8 a.m. start time Monday, motherfucker. But I thought about it and I thought about it. Boy, did I manifest the exact same fucking start time some fucking way. Unbelievable. You know, the art was done from I finished at 7:20. Which left me the exact same crunch to finish the fucking baskets, which I normally finish before I start the art at 7:30, which somehow magically fucked me exactly the same. So this is definitely a life pattern of mine. Definitely. I'm just a half-ass. What can I say? Island time's in the fucking jeans, bro. In the fucking jeans. Just like losing this fucking lighter. Anyways, you guys hearing this? How you guys doing? You guys actually tune in for this shit? Bro, I did everything different, still came out in the same fucking starting time. It's actually rather remarkable consistency, I gotta say. Well, shit. Here we are. Motherfucking showtime, niggas. What's good in the hood? So, you guys peeped the art? What'd you think? Did take forever. Painted that fully original. My first 4K. Decided to try to do one of those really wide things and see how that would work, and could I come up with enough stuff to fill the fucking expanse of that. That was interesting. Oh, does it not fit on the screen right? Here, I'll just get the original photo. Let me get my monitor screen up one sec. We did the glitch, we did a lot of different stuff. We thought we'd come around and try some scene paintings in acrylic again. We tried it in oil the very first time I tried one, learning off of Bob Ross. So this one, I was kind of, wanted to try something here. Let's see. I think that's not showing me the whole thing. Is it? Yeah, it's the whole thing. So I would have tried to put more buildings in, obviously hit time crunch. And so I was like, well, I was going to put a little village inside the ravine in the mountains and kind of skew it back a little bit more. But as running out of time, I just threw a little, it won't zoom in. Damn it. I like these because you can zoom way the fuck in, I threw a fucking church in there with a little sun glisten. Not the best at buildings, but, to them in the distance and to some other silhouetted buildings in the shadow of the foot, of the mountain foothills. But yeah, came out pretty good. I actually like the, the foliage and stuff, different kinds of methods on all the different grasses. So I use something different on every one of them. But if you're ever curious, what it takes to make this one, you got to see this. This is crazy. Where's my process video? So this is a 30-second process video. It compresses it quite a bit. But to give you an idea. So I took the outtake shot of Excenibus, a shot I never used. And that was my character. And then, yeah, just kind of didn't know where I was going when I started. And I was like, well, did a couple different looks to the grass. Had a rainbow palette through the clouds for a while. Threw that away. Shadowed them up. There it is. You can see a couple birds in there. Out thinking in the garden, Programs. Got a couple mixed in there that I use. Most of the painting I did in Procreate. And then I have a couple other things, secret sauces that I render things with, and then mixed it back in. I obviously take the photos in here, with the light effects that I have. Like, oh, my light wall's not on. I knew something wasn't right. Well, I'm high as fuck. How did I miss that? I knew something wasn't going on in here. Let's see. Yeah, this thing. got a couple coded patterns we came up in here and use these guys to run photos while using, light painting. So this is voice reactive, and so I use voice reactive photo shooting with like light patterns with like light paint to do most of my photos first, and then throw into a bunch of other shit and just see what you get. So you guys dig it though? I don't know if I can. I'm no fucking Bob Ross. That's for sure. Like the silhouette came out pretty good. Nice little cartoonic like highlights on and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought it came out pretty good. Embedded them in the grass pretty good. Definitely dig it. Something different. I think the hills, I was kind of going for like farmland and stuff, but I just ran out of time to put more shit on there. So I might add some more things to it later. But just an experiment, something to go in a different direction and keep it fresh for the show and stuff. And I think you guys can all understand this, contemplating, the hindsight mind versus the foresight mind, which we talk about when we talk about things like Pepe, right? Which I know fucked a lot of people up in the room who chased it, who threw all their common sense out the fucking window and fucking did the degen thing and got nailed by it, right? And everyone feels like there's never going to be another chance to get rich, right? Because it's got to be over. And this is the difference in people who keep looking backwards we talked about, right, in a previous show, that it's always over. And, that mindset stops you from ever seeing what's next. All right, people who look at it like this can't imagine it might ever do something like that, This is scaled for if you ever pulled off like a Shiba or a Doge, right? Hindsight-minded people are always thinking that the world's over and all the problems they have are super unique to them, and there's nothing else. There's no more opportunities, and if I miss Bitcoin, then there's not another chance to get rich. And that mindset blocks off all the information of what you can do next. And I see a lot of people talk like that in the room. I see, the numbers move around the show, move around the ecosystem, because people missed Doge or mistimed Pepe, got nailed by it, and life's all over. That despair that you end up in from buying the tops of these, getting train wrecked, missing the opportunity, fucking like driving yourself crazy about it, that is the sentiment that builds out the fucking depression base of your bull flag to let it rotate. It is that feeling that happens all the time, right? What the fuck? Right? That feeling is going on here in various resolutions. And that's what allows the market to aggregate a monopoly on a perception. That belief that it's all over is what lets it fucking rebuild itself. And this is not limited to Pepe. This is all risk assets that are highly correlated. Crypto is correlated with stocks, and we see that, real estate's correlated with stocks also. And so people seek risk kind of like at the same times. And so when people feel like they've missed opportunities, they feel despair at the same times. And they create these regions in the marketplace, that are full of what we know to be dead bodies. Dead bodies, metaphorically and literally. So we have to pay attention to that sentiment when you're in your hindsight mind about everything that I missed yesterday, because the ultimate opportunity for your future is being created literally from that perception you have and a wide body of people have at the same time. That's what allows there to be something of value outside that train of thought that is going to unfold in the future. So, mindset's everything. And watching, large amounts of the room go back and forth with CT on Pepe is not something I want to see if you're truly objective and actually paying attention to the sheep so you don't act like them and get caught up in those things, right? Pepe's not anything you can trade, but it will have its time again. And you have to be in the right mindset to catch it when it comes out of this, or when it came out of here, when we showed it on the show and told it right to your faces and no one moved, right? It didn't seem like an opportunity because the mindset wasn't there to perceive it as such. But this is a learning moment for everybody who got hit by this or missed this. It's a way to look at things that will give you a chance to see this for what it can be instead of what you just missed, right? That's what fucks people the whole way up in a bull market. Yo, what is going on with my chart? Oh, that crashed. All right, I don't know what the fuck just happened there. That motherfucker crashed. Good old fucking Pepe. What was that? Sorry, I was trying to scale it from here, right? The reason we wanted to show you this is when you look at things in hindsight mind and you have a linear scale, the world's always over now. And I always need to have done something yesterday. But it's a fucking matter of perspective that really mind fucks most people, because most people do look at what they miss out on and not what's next, in line for them. And so I show you this guy again, right? This thing will look ridiculous the whole way up for as long as it manages to go up. All you can really do is contextualize it for resolutions that you want to play, and play into a wave that might be part of the next version of what you saw before. I want to get a piece of this, or I want to get a piece of that, or if I'm lucky I can get a piece of this. Oh, come on, why is this thing driving me crazy today? All right, and you know what's in the middle, right? This is cock and balls. And if it's possible, I like a piece of whatever the fuck might happen here. This is a patience thing, right? A moment of serenity. No, I was kidding. So yeah, patience is a virtue things. And so right now, the fact that a lot of people seem despondent, there's low show numbers, very much skeleton crew vibes, then there's another opportunity forming right in their fucking faces. And that wide-bodied people in that mindset won't see it. So, price is people. We don't want to be standing where anybody who is looking down at the floor and not looking at what's next is looking. But we do want to be observant of those folks, right? Because they're telling us where not to be. Yeah, 99 viewers at this point, right? That's exceedingly low. Especially when my Discord hit all-time high last night at 1318. So what are y'all pouring in there for? God only knows, right? Money's going to pop out just because you joined my Discord. But, for the few of you that are here, you know that as the system goes, if there's less of you here and a greater amount of people in Discord, everything that you hear here is exceedingly more valuable just because they're doing that. It's just the way it works. Huge memos. Appreciate you guys on the bits in the morning as always. Peace outside, Robbie, Karosh. So we had to get the show started on time. Wasn't going to try to run into the bell today. The goal was to actually be out of here in front of the bell. And I think, that was one of the big memos I want to talk about, is because I've been having conversations and, seeing things in the chat and hearing things through the grapevine. And everyone's kind of in the same mindset. Veterans to new guys alike. That coin pump really mind fucked a lot of people somehow. And took everyone who knows hard and fast methodologies out into their emotional fields and just threw everything in the dumpster. So I think that's definitely a point we need to do a little reset. So for acolytes this week, what is it? Today's Monday, Tuesday. You guys in the chat right now, if you want to, quick show of hands. I also can run a poll, but Tuesday post-market or Thursday post-market for a concept call for acolytes and everybody. Everybody needs to fucking realize that your emotions can make them forget every goddamn thing you've been doing for 4 or 5 fucking years somehow. It's really crazy that happens. But yeah, we're going to do a little reset. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Anybody know how to run the fucking the poll thing in the chat? I know there's a way. I just don't remember how. Tickerson, can you do that? All right, well, that's somebody tally that up and let me know. Friday, motherfucker. I can't do it Friday. I do a show on Friday. You trying to kill me? I gotta face myself, I do it on the off days. So one of those, and then we're gonna do Clonix business development on the next day, and gonna announce our first art collectors. Probably gonna be next week. I'll probably do that on the day that we do concept call. I do that the same day next week. So somebody figure it out. If there's more Tuesdays or Thursdays, let me know. I run the poll on my channel. I don't know where that shit is. Somebody always did that stuff. I don't do it. I have no idea. Oh, looks like you're right, motherfucker. Alright, god damn it. I found it. Stop it. Let's just do this. It's not that long. Alright, what the fuck? Option. Oh, jeez. Turn that off. All right. There it is, bitches. Thank God. That's not that hard. All right. Cool. Now I know where the fuck that is. Wow. Sounds like a crash rate. Shut up, Seeker. No time for Rule of the Atom shit here. This is a fucking purely democratic process. All right. Now we got that out of the way. You guys write me any war stories? Somebody should have a war story from all this Pepe drama in the room. Let's see what you guys didn't do. Let's see when you didn't bother. I'm going to say it like that. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. All right. Nobody bothered. Appreciate you guys. Earnings this week you give a shit about. Home Depot tomorrow. We care about that guy. He's definitely market moving. Housing's been unusually strong. And most people aren't paying attention to that either. You definitely want to see what he has to say. Retail has definitely been a fucking, sore spot with inflation taking away a lot of discretionary spending. You care about Target and TJ Maxx and what these guys both have to say with regard to everything that's in the XLY. Cisco, he's kind of just fucking old head. He never seems to really say anything that anyone gives a shit about. Walmart, you do care about. Alibaba, we want to know about because Far East, especially Japan, has been really strong. There's been some late strength coming into into China. So this would be probably a good barometer of what's going on over there. We'd want to hear from them. And then John Deere, is in a massive correction along with some of the guys in industrial, like Caterpillar. I'm curious to see what he says and if he creates any market movement for those guys. So this is a decent, news flow for stuff like that's not like super high profile, but there's a couple guys in here who do give a shit about what they say today. That being said, I always appreciate Izzy for throwing these up every week for us. This is news flows. So Empire State Manufacturing, it came out. I don't think I did anything pre-market. I don't even know what that is actually. 2 a.m. in England, claimant count change, and that's a red event. So all you Brits out there, I feel like educating us what the fuck that is. I have no idea. CPI for Canada, all this is market moving if you are trading currency for Canada or anything stock-wise. And then, of course, anything red, Bank of England speaking, you care about employment for Australia. Australia's been really weak in terms of currency. So this might be worth paying attention to for anybody trading in those regions. Not really market moving for U.S. or anything like that. And then out the end of the week, Fed Chair Powell speaking is the biggest thing we have going to Friday. So light on USA events, some red events for some other folks that might be of concern, for your specific markets. All right. Baidu is tomorrow also before market open. Okay, so both Baidu and Baba. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that because there's definitely been some crazy strength in the Far East, and that's going off the radar every bit as much as when we saw the CAC and Germany DAX be really strong, and even the Europeans within our channels refuse to play their own fucking market. I had to literally scream at my own room to make motherfuckers get up in their own time zone to trade their own shit. They were so US centric. And now that's not different. I've got a lot of Australians who are also becoming US centric, who aren't paying attention to a raging fucking Japanese Nikkei that's in your time zone. So that same thing is happening again. And we have to be able to pick up on our own, behaviors to use that as a sentiment read to move, out of the way of the train, or in front of the gravy train, that is, by reading our own collective behavior. No one wants to look at the Far East. No one will look at Europe. Let's fucking look, right? So that being said, real quick pre-market, what do we got after the Empire number? Just Meta is up. Not sure if he's got some specific news why he's doing that. I know Apple's mixed reality glasses are coming to market, and people are now always bringing up Meta's own version of it. So that may put them back in the news somewhat. There's some energy strength, very, very little right now. So it's probably just kind of wait and see how the market opens kind of day and navigate it from there kind of thing. So let's go check out what we're saying, right? We brought up Nintendo and Sony and a couple of things the other day. on the show, some people had brought up some Japanese stuff, and definitely it's been off the radar for quite some time because the resolution of Japan's rotation is insane. It's humongous, right? And this thing's been correcting since 1989. And they're in their own grand cycle that most people have long since forgotten. Trying to run my mouth till I find the fucking chart. I'm so slow. Did I not put anything on this chart? Fuck sakes. My bad. All right, this one. Money. That was our projection back there in April. Flagged exactly where you should at the high that led was right before the level, and then broke right straight through it. So if you guys were watching this, right, this is an insane projection. Can you believe this? Where is this motherfucker? I know you're in the audience still, you son of a bitch. You don't respond to me much anymore, but like, bro, come on. Can you imagine? We set that level from, somebody remember when this level got set? It gets set from whenever he ran his mouth in the show. So it was likely from this show over here on January 2022. Dude, that is the exactly best trigger, pump out and fully leave the range. Come on. This motherfucker is God's gift to fucking everybody but fucking investors of those specific countries he talks about. Where's the other one? You're all over this shit. Like, dude. It's pretty epic. Is this back here too? This is April 20. This is somewhere. What is this? April, March of 2022. And this motherfucker is. Why did we give you like orange too? Because you know I fucking hate orange. Man, your triggers are legendary, bro. I hope to God you use these, bitch. Like, seriously? It's actually crazy. But amazing trigger right here. And then so we want to look at some stuff that's moving, you know, and when we look at like Europe, we look at correlations and, you know, the CAC Courant, German DAX, and they're regional the way they are. We look at currencies that way too, right? We can regionalize currencies. You see, you know, Mexican peso, USD, the Canadian dollar moving in correlations. You see your, you know, Australians and New Zealand's doing it, and your markets are the same too. When we look at this, you know, if Japan is super strong, we know that they've got a serious trading block in South Asia, and part of, you know, what is the Asian Union that was formed over there without most people caring. We want to look at, you know, anybody else that might actually be correlating with this. You know, is anything else in Asia going with this? Am I retarded or what the fuck? I don't know what the heck. I'm just gonna get this guy. Why do I feel like that's not right? All right, we'll just put that on top of there. All right, there is a correlation, though it's looser than you see in like the European markets. You see strength in Japan, it's a good idea to pay attention to fucking their neighbors, right? These guys corrected along the same timelines, and there was a little bit more strength in the early bounces of China. And since China's been flagging since that Baba move and, you know, Baidu move that we had in the Discord, Japan's began to play catch up. While he held a stable range, this means it's probably warranted as far as like Eastern markets go to pay attention to all these guys, right? And we know that we'll see Baba and doing announcements, and Baidu, we said, doing announcements. And we look at these guys, we'll build a basket of like, you know, Asian and Japanese and Chinese stocks and kind of see what we see. Ones I can think of off the top of my head. Honda Motor Company, I haven't pulled that up in a while. And we've got a couple in there. And so what do we see with fucking Leon's level going? Who's going with it? Oops. I see Honda. I see Sony. I see Nintendo. All these guys are tearing ass. And then in China's market, we have like a beleaguered pullback Baidu and Baba. And so, you know, these are bull flags. These are bull flags that are out of favor right now. And if they're going to rotate into alignment with what's going on in Japan, you sit on these waiting for rotations while you pay attention who's got momentum, right? But so you're not always chasing like the thing that's in motion. You need to actually sit on the thing before he becomes in motion, right? We need to be aware of Baba when he looks like shit. No one wants this last bull flag in the long fucking cycle of this big ass fucking crash he's got. So we can get a chance to play one of these. And right now we're dealing with this again, right? So we don't want to just stare when it's in motion. This needs to sit on the back burner so we can wait on fucking China to see if he plays catch up. And right now we know that Japan is in motion and the rest of the world isn't really doing anything outside of Germany and the CAC, which took a breather. So this is an Asian market basket that I think is worth keeping on the radar because nobody gives a flying fuck over here. All right, within our rooms, within media, no one's talking shit about Japan anywhere. The only person that made a very big statement, which went under the radar, was Warren Buffett, who fucking plowed fucking tons of fucking financial investment houses in Japan and said they're all going to be in his trust because he sees it as an opportunity of a lifetime. So one thing about Buffett, where he's taking these humongous stakes in Oxy, these humongous stakes in fucking Japan, and leaving these, post his lifespan, it should tell you something about his conviction and belief about this side of the world. Anyways, that's a whole bunch of stuff. Did you guys get all that? Let's get this back down to clean. So Japan is out. I think you got to pay attention to that guy. It is the most epic bull flag rotation ever when you look at the scale of this thing from 1989 to the bottom in 2009, and a pump that is pretty well structured for, a decade and a half. And Leon is our latest fucking psychological trigger here. Sure, we've had other Leons down here and so forth, but I think this guy is definitely worth paying attention to because it could get more ridiculous if this is really the end of the West lead in the world and the rise of the East, right? How ridiculous can it really get? Buffett said it, right? The U.S.'s great time is behind it, and he's telling you that's a basket thing. Well, if the U.S.'s great times are behind it, whose great times are in front of them, right? Because this is an interconnected, world of assets, so somebody's got the advantage where the U.S. has lost it. And as far as most people, Jimmy Buffett, what's his name? Not Jimmy Buffett, Jimmy Rogers. Jimmy Rogers. Warren Buffett and Jimmy Rogers, both two legendary investors. Jimmy Rogers for fucking 2004 moved his children to Singapore and taught them fucking Chinese. Committed to that being the fucking future leaders of the world. And Buffett is kind of making the exact same stance on his way out the door. So it's definitely something you want to pay attention to because that all plays in alignment with BRICS rotation on the West and with VIX Mageddon and a rotation in world leadership that we've been talking about for, last 7 years or longer. So anyways, do you guys catch all that? It's a lot. So, people obsessed with what can never really see what can be. There's going to be a bull market somewhere, and if you get hung up on the U.S. being the only one possible, you're going to miss all the other ones. So it's a mindset thing. What do we get? Tuesday for 58%, so Tuesday it is. All right, we can do that. I'm game. So it's 9:08. I'm going to do your macro and do your symbols and get you guys out. But yeah, this is a show I wanted to actually talk a lot about Japan. So it comes up in all my basket research in the mornings, and no one mentions a word. It's even more off the radar than the French market was when it was moving. There's literally no one gives a shit, And so we look at these massive structures, and these are big cycle fucking crash cycle rotations, right? This is a monthly chart. And this is just a scale to look at what's happening to Japan. Japan is just coming out of something really massive. But they probably are giving a tell on what really the strength of the East really is. They're an export-driven market. And, with inflation, inflation hurts guys like this, when U.S. purchasing power goes down. But there is somebody who is offsetting that, whose purchasing power is growing. And there is a growing wealth class in South Asia, from fucking China to Singapore to fucking, Thailand, that it will more than begin to consume and replace the U.S. demand for guys like Japan. So Japan is highly sensitive to other economies of the world because they're not internally driven. They're a full export nation. It's one of the reasons they like to keep a weak currency, because the weak currency allows them to sell more shit outside their borders. So strong currency is a very bad thing for Japan. They don't want that. And so when you see this, that Japan has the kind of strength they do, it's telling you there's some consumer somewhere that's fucking offsetting what looks like a fucking very, stalled economy in the West. This is BRICS, right? There's a rising wealth class in fucking India. There's a rising wealth class all over the place that aren't making headlines because Western media doesn't want to tell you about it. But make no mistake that the U.S. is the one on the fucking receiving end of what's going on from BRICS right now. It's not the other way around. So yeah, definitely some stuff to pay attention to. That's Sony. Some basic ones we know. This is an OG chart on Honda. And this is the size of the bull flag we're dealing with on that, right? This is the high put in from 2011 from the high of gold, and has been correcting the entire time from gold put in's high. It's actually an interesting timing on that one if you look at it. GC1. That is the same year that gold put in its all-time high, and gold, has rotated from a very large-scale bull flag that kind of mirrors that for some strange reason. But yeah, it's definitely just a high-resolution thing that's very hard for people to perceive. But this is a lifetime kind of play. If it is the end of the West lead in the world, my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will grow up in a world under new leadership, and they'll never know a world like this. Okay, so that's enough terrifying you guys about stuff. Toyota, we had him. I think we had him on this box range, paying attention. Fucking Leon level. Massive corrective structure. He's kind of a laggard, but these are some of the guys that we pulled up, and there's obviously some other ones. Some Mitsubishi companies, there's some numbers. Don't have those ready, but, when you look at all these guys, you back up on them. The resolution is too big for many people to pay attention, but these are nothing but gargantuan fucking bull flags in a very, very strong Nikkei. So, anyways, all right, that's enough of that. Guys, got it? Yeah, Jimmy Rogers' video is on my blog. Definitely worth watching that guy. One thing he says, he's not the greatest with timing, but he's almost always right. If you don't know who Jimmy Rogers is, he was the partner to George Soros in the Quantum Fund, which was the #1 performing hedge fund ever. And I don't think it ever had a losing year. So yeah, he's the other half of Soros, if you didn't know that. That motherfucker is smart. Really smart. Been following him for like over 2 decades. That guy doesn't miss. All right. So that's that. All right, let's do macro stuff and then SPY. So again, Phantom Zone things. Pretty tough to keep doing update in the Phantom Zone, That's why it's called the Phantom Zone. Lose your life in here. So dicking around in the Phantom Zone, fuchsia level, right? That box range, and it's just been a shit show in there. Really think it's a better ease of movement once you get up to like 415, 49, and can stage like an escape between that level and the Ragnarok trigger, which is what's above that, right? If you guys remember that. That's one of our other great sentiment levels, this Ragnarok humility. That's the line in the sand above Phantom Zone. So if we get outside of that right now, from here, I think that'll help you clear this entire congestion, and you'll have like a decent run, because the longer this sits in here, the bigger the move is when it gets out of this place. Also, if we come back underneath here, definite caution. Because this is also triggered down for the dumps that were the lows of 2022. So this is just a wait and see kind of period right now. The strength isn't in the broader market. It's in very niche parts of the market, like tech. So tech has actually managed to meander higher. And there's obviously guys that have like really outsized performance. 90% of the S&P's performance this year comes from like 15 stocks. And I think you guys saw that market report. And guys like this, right? NVIDIA, Apple, these guys are performing really, really like in their own worlds right now. When they do stabilize, it's going to be a chance to see if they reprice every other similar asset like them, since they've been out and out runners. A lot of times we talked about Apple in the old days. So goes Apple, so goes the market, because Apple is such a large company in touch with so many different peripheral markets that they give you a good read on kind of everyone else. And if Apple's going to go from 2 trillion to 3 trillion, it's like a house in a neighborhood that, all the houses were 200,000, but this one house now that looks just like yours is now 300,000. Not exactly like yours, but it does tell you your house no longer can be 200,000, right? So it's all about relative value. If these guys keep pushing higher, it's either they're all telling you something completely wrong about semiconductors, completely wrong about the consumption, rotation from the west to the east that's going to offset what Apple's going to suffer from us and our lack of discretionary spending from the new wealth class that's emerging in BRICS. Apple is in touch with all of that, right? And so you do have to pay attention to it. NVIDIA is in touch with the whole world too. These are massive companies that are actually like running in front of the marketplace, and either these 15 stocks are full of shit, or they're telling you that the whole world's about to be a lot more expensive, risk assets included. So this is a hell of a bull run that Meta's on, and if they get positive news flow from Apple's mixed reality, they'll most likely blow the fuck out of this. This is a key trigger that we gave you guys on the way down. We gave you a sheet for it, and it's the same trigger you should pay attention to, right? We had a bull flag under here, watch him to flag in this. He gets above it. You should keep eyes on that. they are the strength. They may be alluding to other people's strength later, right? So M-Chip and some of these guys that haven't followed NVIDIA right out the gate, some of these other semiconductors may be worth paying attention to. But anyways, so this kind of like broad memos to kind of, the whole market doesn't look the same right now. That's the main point. All right, so diamonds have stayed weak. They're kind of not doing shit. You kind of want to see these guys kind of rotate up through this entire congestion, probably above here before you give a fuck. It really is just tech led, and and some Japanese select names. DXY things. We did get the rotation, did finally come and give a breather. So a strong dollar generally is a headwind to risk assets, and so you've noticed lots of choppiness in the marketplace. The conditions just haven't been right for USA to be best of breed at all. So kind of paying attention to this right now while the dollar takes a breather. This may just be a small breather in a longer term cycle that's begun by BRICS. We do want to keep aware of that. But this was like what we thought was a long overdue rotation for the euro. So I think pay attention to him when he gets this angle, and that will be an inflection point if he makes it there for the dollar trades across the basket. All right, pound is still pretty healthy trend wise right now. So I think the euro is going to probably be your best proxy on that. USD MXN within the US, Mexican peso is unbelievably strong on the dollar. So paying attention to him versus other assets is better than the dollar. So the Mexican peso versus the Japanese yen, told you, made on cyber, like this is the move that no one's watching because nobody's really paying attention to what Mexico is doing. But Mexico is actually showing strength and allegiance towards BRICS, and the second they did that, they got even more gas than they already had. This is something to definitely pay attention to. The Mexican peso running on the US dollar is fucking kind of crazy to think about, right? But that's it. When you flip it around, that's the Mexican peso on the fucking US dollar. I don't think anybody believes that's happening. VIX, VIX things, back down here. If we bounce again, we have this bull flag or major trend angle or long-term trend angle on the VIX. If he holds this and bounces, this would be a negative for risk assets. So we do want to pay attention to that because it's in a very precarious spot with regard to this trend line and this potential rotation. That's DXY. Okay, and then crypto things. So everyone's head's in a Pepe dumpster, and we're tracking back on this bull flag. This projection did not work, so we'll clear him out, and we're just going to continue to watch this angle, adjust the angle for your last high. That is the correct angle for the correction on BTC now. And in the very worst case of things, could it be a fucking a massive bear flag to correct into a much larger downwave? That's a possibility you always keep in the back of your head. For right now, the market appears bullish and appears most people don't have this shit. And most people got wrecked on Pepe. It means they don't have any money to buy more crypto shit. So that's a sentiment thing, right? No one appeared to have BTC for the last 100% move. And now people fucking seem more fucked from meme coin mania that they don't have any money to buy anything else. So that's skeleton crew vibes, right? That's why people are missing from the room, missing from the show. They're not here to play. And these guys are in bull flags while we are in a very, low resolution despair cycle. So it says, patience and pay attention. All right. And I think that's it. And I covered Pepe. All right, motherfuckers. What time is it? 9:18. I'll throw a couple symbols. I'm going to get you out of here before 9:30. Watch. Let's do this. What do you got? Heads up, Izzy said, heads up, there is a group of Fed speakers this week, 7 today, 6 tomorrow, 3 Wednesday, and 3 Thursday. This week's also options expiration, third week of the month. Good pointers, yeah. I think definitely Powell you pay attention to, and there's two of those other motherfuckers that can say the wrong thing that can move shit. So it's worth always keeping them on the radar if you're day trading because they can create spikes that will really fuck you up. And if one of them is big enough is going to get on the microphone, the market can kind of become very dead right in front of it and stop running the shit out of you. So always be aware of the times those guys go on the mic. If the market behavior changes drastically, you might want to take note of that. All right. Do we got symbols, anybody? One symbol? Are you serious? No, just for that, all you get is one symbol, motherfucker. What the fuck? Archer Daniels Midland. Whose grandpa's watching my fucking show right now? None of you care about that stock. Archer Daniels Midland. Motherfucker, one symbol. Bitch ass. The fuck? The fuck do I look like? A one symbol nigga? Alright, well, here's your one illustrious symbol. How much time can I fucking drag my balls on Archer Daniels Midland? Well, we obviously worked this guy once before. And he's processing. Yeah, he's a fertilizer and shit, right, for food production. So huge rally up to here. Had a bull flag up here. Never made it. Big ass correction for right now while he's doing this shit. Let's see. What did you test, sir? All right. We're gonna run the tip of this bull flag. Chance he's running a range right here, and he's gonna oscillate, just make a big box range. If he's not fucking crashing. So first thing you look at is him testing the floor of what he just did. So you want him to come down, fuck everybody, and come back up. And if he does that, that'll give you a good shot at a rotation. You obviously want some strength behind it, but something like that. If he can do that, stop run the base of this and get back on top of it and set a system on top of that trigger, that will look really bullish. But for now, yeah, kind of just caution and see, manage this trend till he gets to a place that he structures out something like rotational that looks like he can put a bottom in for a meaningful amount of time. Where'd I put that thing? So, right, this never triggered, should never touched it. The cycle goes down now. If it gets fatigued right here, right, he's gonna have the old system behind it, and that's what he could probably hit. Come down and slam into this high while stop running everybody in this high. He might get deep enough to take this out. Depends how it does it. But if he recovers back into, if he recovers back into this, that's kind of where I think that's where you pay attention. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. That's your one fucking symbol, motherfucker. Nope, no extras, no late ones. Get your shit together next time. Pretty interesting sentiment read though, right? Kind of skeleton crew vibes, everyone coming in. No one prepared with a symbol to look at. Telling you, some hindsight-minded shit, right? Like the world ended. So there's definitely all kinds of new opportunities out there. You guys should definitely be looking at the next one. Not worrying about Pepe so much that I got one fucking symbol for your grandma's fertilizer company that none of you fucking gonna trade anyway after I fucking did this stupid shit. You know who you are. Alright, bitches. Stay safe. Catch you on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.
Archer Daniels Midland. Motherfucker. Sounds like a serial killer.
Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches.
Well, if we're still here, we might as well just prep the open, huh? So let's do that. All right, bitches. What do we got? So, this is fucking some serious fucking goddamn, Phantom Zone shit, Tiki. That's an expanding formation. That shit will tickle your asshole. Don't trade in things like that. The Nas, best shot at getting the fuck out of here. I talked about this. Climax to climax, box range, created a really solid range. Failed it once, came back, absolutely ripped everyone the new ass in it. Bottomed in it. So as long as he holds here, right, you want to see, can he step his way all the way back up? Oh, you need a screen? I got you. I got it. Phantom Zone things. I got it. Phantom Zone things. See it? Anal rape. don't trade and stuff like that. That's the Phantom Zone ES, right? Looks like an asshole right now. The only thing that remotely has a chance is some of those strong ass tech guys over in the NAS right now that have pushed out to this area. Which, if you guys back up a little bit, right, well, you need the Qs to see the rest of it. So we're here right now. We're targeting getting to this intersection of this horizontal at the top of this system, which still, you know, if you look at it, we haven't taken out the last high to put in the lows of October, which means we're still technically in a downtrend. So you did have a screen up. So right now, the tech is about the only thing we're looking at risk assets in the U.S. if you're not looking at Japanese stuff. In futures, one thing is, even though the NAS is the strongest of the three indexes, the U.S. market's not best of breed. It still lends for very choppy trading, right? You know, your biggest money is made when this guy, for us, our day trading is the best when we're involved in something like this kind of a rip, right? That has really good gas. This rip was really good, right? But the market overall has been really, really fucking like tired and beleaguered and hard to move. And you want to be aware of that, because without best of breed, it's still not giving good price integrity for some of the day trading you want to do until like we get a catalyst or there's some rotation where we get more strength in the US. It's very difficult. So for anybody that's like, you know, day scalping futures, if you're not used to like this kind of environment, as much as there's still strength in the market, the index is not best of breed. So it's making even trading the NAS that's leading it fucking difficult. So that's a memo for any of you that, you know, are thinking that something is wrong with what you're doing. The market is actually insanely difficult. And it's because we're not trading a best of breed index, which means the assets within it are also not best of breed. And there's a couple outliers, like I said, like Apple, Nvidia, and some of those. But overall, this is not an easy market for anybody. So don't let yourself, you know, mentally go in the dumpster about it. It's definitely different. That being said, right, you know, we can pay attention right now. Decent stop run on this guy. Rotated on it, came back off of the top of this system. Going into the bell right now, this is what you can contextualize. You got a bull flag. You have to figure out what res you like that guy at, you know, and then what you could possibly play if he's going to rotate up. Look what's behind it. Fucking nightmare, nightmare, nightmare chop, right? The pretty much decent hard top you got is probably this line of sand. It's triple top here that showed a good test. If he gets up to that, you could probably play something off of this and have a better chance of it leaving without chopping into fucking pieces. And just watch this like this opening wick reversal it did right there. That's probably your range to see if he's gonna get any kind of real gas. But like I said, right, it's not best of breed, so don't FOMO. The market is very difficult, and even upward movements are still grindy as fuck. So when you have that kind of problem, higher resolutions are generally going to be a better idea than trading into the nanoscales, because you're just going to get cut to shreds down there. Even though the market's rising, there's a liquidity problem. So to deal with liquidity means you need more volume. More volume is going to come from longer durations, means higher resolutions are going to have better price integrity. So anyways, that's your Easter egg, bitches. Stay safe. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3.
Get me past 100 likes, you bitches.